in Lorraine's dressing room, and we've known each other for such a long time.
Gosh, so long, decades.
It's scary how long
It's
it is.
frightening.
And I said earlier, but I absolutely genuinely mean it, you just look better now than when we knew each other 30 years ago.
I think it's just that I looked really bad 30 years ago, so anything would be better, you know. But do you not think that was the fashion of the time? You know, that power dressing thing, and hair was really, you know, horrid and big. And things like makeup have changed, you know, you get all that light reflecting makeup and hair's better. And I think we're less hard on ourselves as we get older as well. You're more accepting of yourself.
I think as well, maybe we tried harder then.
Yeah, perhaps.
Because I remember all those, I had that hideous yellow and black jacket that seems to come back to haunt me
that
every
was
time.
terrible.
It was bad.
I mean, mine were worse though. Mine were worse. Mine were much worse than yours, because I had ones that were all different colours. I wore a jacket to interview Liam Neeson that poor man must have been blinded. It was all, because remember we had to wear like really bright colours all the time.
It was all bright colours.
It was.
And it was always jackets. And everything's changed now. Now everybody's in a power dress, from Michelle Obama.
Of course, in House of Cards, the lady in House of Cards and all that, yeah.
Loose women,
Absolutely.
everyone, all in the little, but now they're power dresses.
The power dresses. Mm.
Which I suppose in some ways shows how women's situation has changed, in that you don't have to look like a man now, but you still have to have a bit of a uniform. I
know what you mean, because there is a sort of works uniform. I've got better at style as I've got older. I've got better at knowing what suits me. I've got better at knowing what doesn't suit me, which is equally as good. I can be a little bit more, I can take it a little bit further. I can be a little bit more, I suppose, if you like, fashion forward, as they call it. I can do that a little bit in my show. Not too out there, because you don't want people to go, ah! You get a fright. But you can actually sort of like maybe take a little bit more risks. You know, recently I've been wearing really sticky out dresses and things.
I've noticed those with those lovely
which
skirts.
are great. You know, they're really good. But also I think as well, you know, you were talking about looking better. I feel better. I feel fitter. I really do. I feel fitter now than I have for ages. Something happened. I'm 56 now, but something happened when I turned 50. I did a thing for Comic Relief, and I trekked 100 miles in searing desert heat, so that was probably a bit mad. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody as a way of getting, you know, losing weight and feeling better about yourself, but I did get very sick and I lost a lot of weight, and that's not the way to do it. But I suddenly sort of thought to myself, I feel, you know, actually, when I got better, I felt better within myself, because I'm supposed to be a size 11, there's no such thing, but I'm supposed to be that, and when I'm not that, I look plump and I look unhealthy, and I feel, you know, I just feel not myself. On the very rare occasions, like when I was training for a marathon, that I got too thin, then I look gaunt. So I think everybody's got their weight, hasn't they? Everybody's got their weight. And that can be a size 16. You know, we've got beautiful models that come in the show who are a size 16, 18, and perfect, because that's what they're supposed to be. You know, they're taller, and they're supposed to be that, and they look great. And they've got the lovely shape and everything. Yeah, they look like girls. And a lot of it's about, and that sounds really corny, but as you say, but being happy. Completely. And if you're happy with yourself and you're not out, it just kind of comes out through I agree with you. And I think you get the face you deserve. I really do.
Ross Kelly, that was always his saying.
Once
you get to 30, you get the face you deserve.
So if you are miserable, then you will get, and it does sort of drive me nuts. I mean, I know that there are people, you know, that are divided up into fountains and drains. I mean, we've all got drains in our life that, you know, they walk in and you just go like that, and then fountains. And I'd much rather be a fountain. It's actually less hard work, and it's about, and as well because of the job that I do, you kind of set the tone. You know, if I come in the morning, like, you know, with a face like a well-scaled bottom and boring and sort of like, well, everybody then has a rubbish time. Everybody, that sort of infects absolutely everyone. I mean, I'm not saying that I bounce in here like Snow White, you know, and unicorns and rainbows or anything like that. I mean, I don't. Woodland creatures doing my washing up, you know. It's not really like that. But I certainly don't come in grimacing, because then you set the tone. Everybody has a rubbish time, and what's the point? What's the point? And I'm very lucky. I've got a job that I love to do, and, you know, it's a great job, and it's very interesting, and every day is different. So why would you be like that? You know?
And I have to say, as though we started such a long time ago, but you have weathered the storm.
I have.
Of every breakfast television programme since breakfast television began, practically.
I've seen so many regime changes. It's hilarious. I don't really know why. I don't know how that's happened. I think because I just kind of get on with it. You know, I just kind of got on with the job and just sort of, yeah, but I've counted them in and counted them out. It's utterly bizarre, isn't it? It really is. It really is quite strange. But yeah, I'm still here just doing what I do. And I think I've found something that really suits me. It really suits me. And you know that in breakfast TV, you have to be yourself. If you're not yourself, and people are not daft, they'll see right through you if you're putting an act on, you know.
It does go through completely.
It really does. So I'm very lucky that I've had that, and also I think that a lot of people have kind of grown up with me, which is great. You know, it's really it's lovely.
I do find that disconcerting though when someone goes, "Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. I remember watching you when I was 5."
Yes,
and you think
yes.
they've got their own children now.
I
How
know.
did that happen?
I know that is. But
I find that a bit scary.
But in a way, it's lovely as well, and I like the fact that people think that they know me, and they kind of do. But and they do think that they know me, and they think of me as a pal, and that's lovely. I mean, that is such a massive, massive compliment. You know, it really is. And that I do have a show where I am allowed to say what I think, up to a point. You know, obviously you're not going to be swearing or doing anything like that, but you are allowed to have an opinion, and that's very, very important as well. You know, and you are allowed to sort of, like, we get that instant feedback now, you know, with social media, and you can react to things, and I really like that.
Is there ever anything that you said that as it came out of your mouth, you thought, "Oh no, we shouldn't have said that"? Because you're really good at. I think you're very good at not.
I've kind of got a self-edit button, you know.
Yeah.
I've got that thing. I mean, I always remember when I started on Twitter, it was Ben Shepherd that got me started on Twitter, and Ben said 2 golden rules: do not tweet anything that you wouldn't say on the box, and don't tweet when you're drunk.
No. I think there should be
Otherwise,
a cut-off point, like after 8:30 at night, you never tweet, because that's always when people get into trouble.
They do, and you've got to be really careful with what, and it can't be misinterpreted as well. You've got to watch what you say. You have to be very careful about your use of language, which is good discipline.
Never get into a spat with anybody.
Ignore. Do you know what I do? I'm very lucky. I don't get many people that are horrid, but on the rare occasion that I do, don't block them. Because if you block them, they know that you've read it and you're upset. Mute them. Because if you mute them, there's a wee mute button, and if you just press that, they rant. It's like they're ranting in an empty room.
Perfect.
Rant, and you can't hear them.
I saw that because somebody did put something a bit. It wasn't particularly personal, but it was a bit unpleasant. And I thought, oh God, what should I do with that? And I saw that mute button. Yeah. And the only reason I didn't press it was I didn't want them to know.
But they don't know. They don't know. If you block them, they know.
So it has been many, because you celebrated that, and that was lovely. And I came
it was great. That was my 30th party. My 30th birthday, haha. But 30 years, Anne. Goodness me. And it's gone by in a flash. In a flash.
And in that time, you've had a daughter, and she's grown up with you doing it. Does she want to follow in your footsteps at all? I think
she's doing journalism at university. I don't know which particular branch she wants to go into, but now it's so different. I mean, I was making her laugh, actually, because I always talk about, I had to go to a university because I went to, when it was a college, I went there in Napier in Edinburgh, and I went back, and of course when I was there, all the students were looking at me as if I was 103, because I was saying, when I was there, it was typewriters. And pieces of paper that were sent away to printers. On hot metal, and then the paper was printed, and then you read it. And now, of course, they have to do everything. You know, the kids have to do absolutely everything now. You know, before I had a crew, a cameraman, sound man, and a lighting man, and now you have to do the whole blinking thing yourself.
Carry your camera,
so different,
edit it when you
so
get
different.
back.
So yeah, I think she'll probably end up doing something in the media, but what, I don't know. She's a good writer, and she's done a few sort of wee bits and bobs, but she's good. I don't know what I don't know. You know what it's like. You just want them to be happy. You just want them to be happy. And whatever they do,
corny,
it's true though.
It's all you care about,
absolutely,
isn't it?
absolutely.
And if they're unhappy, it just makes you feel so horrible inside.
I know, because you just want to.
That's all you care about.
She's been great. I've been so lucky. I kept waiting for the terrible twos, and they didn't happen. And I was waiting for the kind of, like, you know, the teenage angst. Yeah. No, she's far more grown up, mature than either me and her father will ever be. She really is. She's like the grown up.
And he's so lovely. I love him.
No, he's a great guy. I'm very, very lucky. I'm very lucky to have Steve. I mean, We've had this thing where because he was my cameraman when I was a correspondent, so we had this thing where we literally lived 24/7 in each other's pockets. And then, of course, when I came down to London to work, a wee back in, well, it was beginning of 89, for 1 week, and then I've been here ever since. And then we had this separation thing, but I always go home every weekend. Very occasionally he'll come down if there's maybe something on down here that he wants to see, like an exhibition or something like that. But normally I go home, and it keeps me sane. It keeps me sane.
I think that's your secret, because you've never been swept up with the, I can go to all these premieres, and I'm going to have all these amazing treatments.
Yeah, and I should really. I've got this thing where I buy something to cure cellulite, and I think I'll just buy that, and then I put it in my cabinet, and then I think it's going to work by osmosis.
Yes, no, it does work like that. It does.
But then you're supposed to rub it in, and I don't. I'm so bad. And also, I think to myself, why put yourself through the torture of having to put on a dress, you know, get your serious underwear on and your big uncomfortable high heels to go to a premiere of a movie where somebody will take your photograph on the red carpet and then tear you to ribbons, why bother
Yeah.
when, because we're so lucky, we can see the movies before they come out, so you can sit in a darkened theatre somewhere in Soho
And eat popcorn.
with your slippers on and watch it.
Yeah.
And your clothes, obviously, not just your slippers. Just your slippers. But, you know, you can sit there. That to me is a joy. Absolute joy. But going to a premiere, and if you go to a Tom Cruise premiere, he spends 4 hours outside anyway, so you're bored stiff. No.
And it's like a bit, I came through Leicester Square with 2 lovely friends of mine who are YouTubers, Becky and Holly Sheeran, and they were going to the Batman premiere.
Oh, right.
And they were saying it's just so horrible because you get held back, then you're shoved on, you have to stand in front of that square and get photographed.
No, I don't see the point. And anybody that likes doing that, there must be something wrong with them, I think, that would actually think that that's a really good way to spend a night.
Would you want to be in a film?
Geez, I don't know. I mean, I was in Corrie and, you know, the Tech Santa thing, where I played a police officer, and I've never been more nervous in all my life because I was on Corrie as well, and I'm like talking to people, like, I've crawled inside my telly, this is really surreal and mad. And I was in a Scottish soap for a wee while as me, just for a couple of episodes. But I don't know, you know what, I would never say no to anything.
Well, no, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I've got to that stage in my life. I mean, obviously, some things I would never go to I'm a Celebrity or any of these mad game shows or Big Brother or something to get sworn at. No. Oh, no. And be at the mercy of the editor. I'd never do that sort of thing. But things like that, you know, why not? Why not? If the part was a laugh and there weren't very many lines.
I'd love to be a voice like on a cartoon.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Because wasn't Fiona when she
did. Oh my goodness, did she not do something?
It wasn't Finding Nemo, but it was a fish one.
It was. She did do that.
Where the jellyfish.
Will Smith was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, the jellyfish with the.
She did that, and I did do
Shark Story.
That was it, and I did do a children's TV series which was great fun. Ra Ra the Noisy Lion, and that was great. I had to sing the theme tune. I didn't write the theme tune, but I had to sing the theme tune. Wow. And I did all that, and that was great fun. I loved that. I really did. And I'm doing a bit of voice work for a documentary on penguins, Penguin Hospital, which I love penguins, so I'm very excited about. So there's lots of sort of different things that kind of keep you going, which is really good.
I mean, if anybody said to me, what would you be doing in 30 years? I couldn't actually think that I would ever get to somewhere which was 30 years later than it was at the time.
I know.
So I was going to say to you, where are you still going to be doing it? But I think that's a pointless thing because you can't imagine not doing it.
I know, it's become sort of so much part of my life now. And I'm incredibly lucky. I mean, I don't take it for granted. We all know in TV land that for somebody to be, but for somebody to be doing this kind of job for such a long time, I don't know that it'll happen again. I'm not sure, it might, but it would be... it's just... But again, I think I've just found my niche. I've just found something that I really...
I'll be coming back down in another 30 years. They'll wheel me in.
I'll be on my Zimmer going, hello.
I'll also set my camera again and do it again.
Probably. Oh. Who knows? But it's great. I mean, I still think somebody's going to tap my shoulder and say, excuse me.
Found you out now.
Aha, found you out. You have to leave. You'll have to go.
I don't think so.
It's funny, isn't it? But I'm very lucky to have a show that's got my name on it, for goodness sake. Do you know?
That's
amazing.
One of the best things, because remember it used to be called After 9?
It did, and then it was called 9:15. Then it was called LK Today. Then it was called something else, and I can't remember. But it's been through many a change.
Your name, even when you're not there and somebody's standing in doing it, it's still your name.
I know, it's amazing.
That's a really... Who
lovely.
invented that? Was it Ben?
Was
it Ben Frau, was it?
I think with Ben it was LK Today. That's right.
Yeah.
I think it was.
That was halfway to your whole name, wasn't it?
But it is lovely. I'm like I say, I'm very, very lucky, and I don't take it for granted.
I wonder if I said to East Midlands today, could we call it Anne?
I think we should.
It just would be great, wouldn't it?
I think we should actually. I'm going to start a campaign for that.
Thank you very much.
It's about time, doesn't it?
Yes, it's about time now, actually. No, that's a great great plus, I think, to do that.
Lovely.
So the only way you could go was if you went, the whole thing would go. We'd have to be called something different.
Lorraine Chase could come in.
Oh, God bless.
She could waft in, couldn't she?
Oh, bless. Well, it's been lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much. As I say, I will be back in 30 years. With my camera, they'll be wheel me in. Set my camera
and I'll be in my Zimmer.
I will do it all over again.
I think we should. It's a date.
Thank you.